Again, fairly similar plane path to the first one we saw today, Max. It's a little bit further west, which means Monte Nuevo, more achievable. I'm just saying, should GK want to go somewhere else, they could go over to Monte Nuevo.
I think I've never seen a player jump out the plane as fast as Meku just did. The plane wasn't even reaching like the point of the plane path, and he's already out of there. Split away Condors like already. I mean, of course, it's a very good drop for them.
Ew.
But yeah, pretty good for these teams. We'll have to see how things are going to wrap up. But I do not expect to see anything remotely close to that previous game because a circle ending there is very, very rare. And I would say, as also Seven mentioned on the desk, it's hard to play. There's not a lot of like great avenues. You just got to try and play it out, survive, and if you're lucky and still have 4 players, which is what happened for Regnum Karya, end up taking the chicken dinner.
See, I'm disappointed about that last game, Max, and I'll tell you for why.
Only 3 limbs.
No.
Oh, okay.
3 limbs. They could, if Falcons had taken more out of Fireflux, they could have taken them down to just 1, and then Fireflux might have tried to deny the point, and we could have seen the first ever competitive, full pacifist chicken dinner from a team, from Regnum Karya. I would have absolutely loved it, and you know what? I am disappointed that Falcons weren't able to do more, because I mean, you were talking about this as well, just between those games. We've seen them trying a lot of stuff.
Exactly. I mean, Falcons have been attempting many things this game. At one point, they were thinking to, like, I think, backstab the side of RTG. Then they start to push towards Regnum Karya, realize it's a really bad idea because it's Regnum Karya. They start going back, then pushing towards that fight of Nigma Galaxy versus the side of Fireflux at the time. So definitely try many things. At least they're not second-guessing themselves. They're, like, triple-guessing themselves. And attempting everything they're guessing, which, if that makes any sense, then thank you very much. But yeah, they're just trying things out, which I can appreciate. But there are things that I don't appreciate, John. And I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to let this play out.
We're living up to your French roots and going on strike until GK leave this hot drop.
I'm going to burn the trash.
That's it.
Stop it.
Mild inconvenience. That's it.
You're not getting to work.
Don't worry. Well, okay, let's not get further into that. Next, Riyadh playing on that northwest side. I'm surprised that we haven't seen more teams look to third party this engagement. It's something that we've seen when we've seen this hot drop occur in previous tournaments, right? Teams start to realize, oh, they're just going to be preoccupied with each other. We saw Nexus, actually. I'll take that back. We saw Nexus roll in for a third party on this fight the other day.
Yeah, I mean, why the hell not? If you know the 2 teams are potentially wounded, you might just get an easy elimination along the way. So why the hell not? Just go for it. And if you do come out on top, then 3 points for you. Though Picardo, you can have a team north and team south, and you don't have to fight, which I think they might be doing this game. So we might actually see a pacifist, in quotation mark, fight in Picardo between the 2 squads. Though looking at this phase 1 circle that did pop, it is centered towards Minas Generalis, Graveyard, Junkyard position. So some good points to play for, especially north of, I mean, next to Junkyard, you have this little, like, very high ground, like, I don't know what you could call it, like, just a mountain? I think that works.
Sure.
A mountain, you can get up there with a buggy, and you can get a lot of information, and the Mini 14, if you have a lot of ammo, you can just take the shots and do the and just get them.
I think, is it called a mesa?
Is it called a mesa?
I'll have to Google that, but maybe. I know what you mean, though. One of those those darker brown rocky mountain things.
That thing, if you go on that thing, you might just win the whole thing. I think that we could see Vision trying to actually go for that position. They're currently holding a nice 2-2 split, Junkyard, Minas Generalis / Graveyard, so they can definitely try and aim for that spot and get the buggy up that thing. So, other than that, we have indeed, just to keep an update, Regnum Karya leaving without any eliminations, without taking any damage, make it out, and GK went to the west. Thank you.
I mean, this is something we have seen previously in Picardo, right? As 2 teams can actually share the loot in this settlement, right? One up towards the stadium at the top of the hill, couple of those players down towards the south in the apartments, in that sort of area. You can split that loot, and hopefully Regnum Karya will have better luck grabbing some of that split loot around as well.
It just took a while to get the contract for them to sign the peace treaty. And they finally got it. It's signed. The deal has been made between these 2 squads. And they're leaving. And actually, Regnum got not going for too bad a spot on this phase 1, sending it right towards La Bandita. And actually did split a little bit away, currently doing a 2-2 split, keeping 2 angles, which is what we know from Regnum Karya, holding 2 angles, wait for the phase 2, phase 3 pop, regrouping which they think is the best position at the time, which worked out great in last game, right? Get himself that chicken dinner with low eliminations, but because they know which position is strong in pretty much every single situation, and they just going to go for the same old strat, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Seemingly their map knowledge impeccable so far this tournament for PMRC. Oh. PM Regnum Karya. It all makes sense.
I like where you're going with this. I mean, they got way too many chicken dinners.
It's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy to the highest level.
Welcome to the PUBG Mobile Regnum Karya. Actually, I don't know. No.
What don't you know?
I don't know many things.
Oh,
especially math-related questions.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
Oh, thank you. But
you knew about that high ground near Junkyard? You were telling us all about it?
Yeah, that thing, the Mesa.
I did Google it. It is Mesa.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, really? No, okay. The Mesa. And actually, they went for it. Vision went on that position. They just sent Bolt and another one of their players currently. So they're going to be gathering that intel and hopefully have a Mini 14. That would be the weapon of choice in such a position. And then other teams are maybe a little bit slow on the rotate. Falcons in particular need to be a bit careful because they could have some issues entering phase 2 if they really delay it. And if it's a heavy north or northeast shift, then Falcons could be in a little bit of trouble, similar to, for example, Brute Force, which are also delaying their rotation away from El Pozo at the time. But yeah, Regnum, that 2-2 split. I'm right away. This is a very early call, John.
Okay, I'm ready.
I'm calling a top 5 minimum.
I'll write this down.
Top 5 minimum.
For
Regnum Karya.
Top 5 for Regnum Karya.
There you
from
go.
Maxman.
It's been happening so many times, and no team has like really been punishing it because it's very hard to punish. Also,
well, if you'd have said at random any game of the day a top 1 from Regnum Karya, right now
the odds are good.
You would have a 60% hit rate.
I should definitely play those odds out.
Kind of nuts.
Pretty. I mean, they've had a fantastic tournament. These last 2 days has been magnificent. And they're going to try and keep the ball rolling. Though Brute Force slowly have initiated their rotation away from El Pozo/Crate Fields, they're going to make it in a position where currently is occupied by Gladiators, which are split. So Brute Force, as we typically know them for, if they see a solo player, they tend to like to push it. They tend to like to get that elimination. And they tend to want to just eliminate the whole team afterwards. So Brute Force, if they see a single player out there in the open, they might just chase him down until the edge of the earth.
Up on the menu today, it is one of the finest Matic classics, aged for 3 days, marinated by the rest of the lobby. Hopefully they're going to try and keep him down in storage and the rest of the team as well, keep him alive for the time being. Nice and fresh.
I heard Matic is actually in a different hotel from the rest of his team. Bringing the Matic Classic in real life.
He's playing Split.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's in another city, literally.
Yeah.
And from afar. Oh, onto La Bandita, right onto Regnum Karya. Going to regroup. They're going to send Wild.
That's nuts. It is literally right on top of Regnum Karya.
I know, right? It's what's going on. I don't know. It's
Can
been
we up
happening
your
so many
prediction to a
times.
top 4 yet?
No, top 5. I'm going to hold on to top 5.
Top 5, okay.
I expect breaches to happen on compounds like that, and it's just to see if they can withstand those breaches, because there's definitely going to be a few I do expect later on. But there you go. Already regroup on phase 2. Instantly on phase 2, they do it. It's been so successful, this event, and a lot faster than so many teams. The reason why Vampire Esports have been so successful in my eyes in PMWI, both All-Stars and main tournament, is the speed at which they execute the rotations, because they're so very rarely vulnerable. And that is something that Regnum Karya have going their way, is that every time you fight Regnum Karya, even if you do beat them, they're always fully stacked as a 4-man team. And that makes it so much tougher to eliminate the whole squad, and they just keep on surviving.
Like when they crashed into Gladiators and all went down, they did it together, and that's the main
exactly.
thing.
It's a team game.
As a team, they made that decision.
As you should.
But for the rest of the games, they dominated pretty much everyone else. So kind of swings and roundabouts as they're playing together. Effective today. Next, Ruya, they're playing on the further north side of this circle, but it is all very central, and we have this alignment right down the middle between these mountains on either side.
Yeah, currently I'm not sure if I'm seeing any teams commit to La Bandita. I don't think so. Here you go. Finally, some action is going to be happening. Vision taking some early shots onto Evo Station. The knock comes out. As Tough is very low, we'll try and go for the first aid.
GQ looking to get something out of this fight, but at the moment, Vision absolutely in control of it. Corker trying to push up towards Mon. As Volt and Lath look for the regroup, Corker is very, very low on the inside. The flushes can come through. The first knock is there, and Corker does finally manage to turn it around a little bit. But after losing 2 players already, it's likely that you're not going to have the control you need. Toffee's nearly finding the knock he was looking for. Plays up to the door frame, steps out, and is nowhere to be seen on the refrag. They are committing for this res onto safe. Volt doesn't go down either.
Good from Volt, actually. I was expecting him to go way too aggressive, just wait it out, get Scythe to go for the res, and he's going to get involved. But North also, some action is unfolding. Gladiators fighting Demuerte, fighting Brute Force. It's a 3-way fight. No clue who's going to come out on top here. You got too much action unfolding outside of the circle.
That is crazy. A 3-team fight. At the moment, the Gladiators looking like they have the better end of it, but you saw there, Meku does get knocked in the feed. Hopefully that's resable. It's a little bit far east and split from the rest of the team, but look at the feed light up.
Show me the fight!
Coming through Gladiators. 5 eliminations. Brute Force are eliminated. Demuerte are down to 2 players as well on that north side. So again, a hot start for the Gladiators in terms of those elimination counts. Hopefully, they don't just randomly go down one by one.
Definitely, I would hope to not see that again. Maybe that's why we didn't spectate it, because it was happening. So they just avoided us watching that. But they're going to try and maybe chase down Tabok. I'm not too sure. But they still got themselves the full squad up and running about. They do get the res, as you can see. And they're going to make their way up north. Currently, a lot of entry points. There's a lot of decent positions, compounds, a decent high ground actually around Junkyard they can actually try and play. So that could be really, really strong foothold for them in the foreseeable future. As our teams looking to play their position. I'm looking mainly at, excuse me, their compound is strong. But Mad Balls have been stretching their rotation south, and they're going to maybe encounter a few teams on the way.
They are turning their attention all to this one Defilade, playing up close with one another, close to Nexus, who are just on the edge of the circle with their duo out there. Nexus are playing quite split. This is the replay of the fight up north, Max.
Okay, how did that happen? Oh, okay, that's a short replay.
Oh, okay, just a couple of picks.
Just Matic doing the not the Matic Classic, but he was with his team. No, which I can appreciate when it does happen. Thank you very much. Nexus, I've seen a few teams passing by, but they're just way too quick on the swivel, so no way you're going to be catching any of those players off guard. They're just wrapping wide over to the east because they're dodging La Bandita. You don't want to make it into La Bandita, just avoid that position. And currently, Gangsters, Nexus, and Enigma Galaxy are making that rotation happen.
I mean, all of these teams on the south side are just being crunched by La Bandita in general. Everybody is trying to find a way around it, and it has linearized these rotations and caused a massive traffic jam. You do not want to be caught in it.
So I'm looking at this circle. I don't know if we can have like a full circle view right now. It would be perfect timing. But Falcons, you know exactly what they're going to try and do. They're going to try and send it west. And wait, are they going east? Maybe I just completely miscalled that.
That's
okay,
really unfortunate.
I thought they were going to go far west because...
No, you said east, Max. Let's go with it.
Okay.
For sure.
Because they're hearing all of those teams rotating to the east. I thought, okay, they might try and dodge the madness, but no, they're going right into it and split once more. So we'll see if it's going to work out. I mean, they did slow down, so maybe want to rethink their entry point of this game. Though Fireflux and Regnum Kara currently in a decent position here once more. That could end up coming their way. The circle could go on their compound. If so, they might be in a hot position to reach top 5. But Falcons, as they rotate further south, do encounter RTG that get themselves their first elimination.
Starting to open up that scorecard. Good news, good news. Regnum Kaya on the southwest side. A lot of teams now still trapped behind the crater as we hop on towards one of them. It's Road to Glory, as the Falcons have snuck their way through. There we go. That's what they were looking for. But yeah, through La Bandita. Over on the northeast side, the Gladiators will take a knock from Gangsters. Everybody just... Okay, this southeast side is getting absolutely crazy. But yeah, Falcons into La Bandita crater.
They're just getting crushed. RTG Nexus between the edge of the circle and the edge of La Bandita. It goes once again up there, right onto Regnum Karia, and also, excuse me, Enigma Galaxy actually just recently left the south and got into that compound. So that was a great call, and lucky enough for them, that position was left open and available. That could be also a game-winning spot if they do play their cards correctly. But the south here, there's so many fights that are going to have to reach their resolution, John. As Falcons still trying to just make their way through the madness, but Nexus Gaming taking every single shot they can.
A lot of damage pouring in towards these buggies, towards the players as well, but they have managed to stay safe as 3 for the Falcons. And now they're on the north side of the crater.
Now RTG actually seeing their reposition. And then dips, which is very nadeable, as you typically know in PUBG Mobile Esport. They're going to try and get a little bit close, but Six unfortunately cannot weather the storm. And he's going to be the first to fall very slowly. GK are going to be encroaching southwest of La Bandita, and they're going to be taking some nice mini 14 shots over those ridges. Really, if you're in La Bandita right now, I feel like every team is going to get eliminated, and teams outside of it, mainly, I'm looking at 5flux, we're just going to try and get the few remaining players at the end as they try and leave that city.
You can see as well that just before on that flyby, the ridges on the northwest side of La Bandita are a lot lower, a lot less steep than the ridges on the other side. But beyond that, you can see just over that ridgeline there's so much open ground right in front of that Fireflux position. So even if they're not crashing into it, like you say, they're just cutting.
I mean, you don't have to crash into it if you can just avoid that entire fight. GK actually could go far west. I mean, I believe they have cars, John, if I'm not mistaken, so they can go for a wide rotate. De Muerte, I think it was only Kose that was left alive, did get found out later on, so he's going to be eliminated, unfortunately, for De Muerte, having a bit of a rough time this tournament in 12th position. And teams like GK, with a potential strong game here, could be looking to overtake their position in 12th. So De Muerte might be sliding slowly but surely down the leaderboards even further. As Falcons, Puncher King gonna be put down extremely low, but not quite confirmed.
Super low now as Exa Machina actually getting backed off the ridgeline as Exa backing up his teammate. Keeping him alive. 2 players still actually.
Nice from Exo. Though, yeah, okay, nice. His teammate was able to actually get himself I think there was a med kit he was able to use, so back to 100 health instantly. Oh no, actually it was a first aid. It was a first aid. Nexus also wanted to close that gap. I mean, with that opening damage, you do have a little bit of an opportunity to get closer, get in nade range, and maybe just eliminate the entire squad. If so, you're going to be the only team north of La Bandita, so you can pick up teams like maybe GK or RTG as they try and leave their spot. But here you go, Nexus up there with the nades. And onto Ace, he's just not going to be able to escape this one. I feel like it's just too easy of an elimination for Nexus. At least it should be.
Need being cooked. Kapahala.
Oh, no, well, that's
on the ridge. Ooh, takes a lot of damage, but luckily does not go down.
Come on, easy nade.
A nade in response. You say it's easy, but Max, at the moment, it hasn't been enacted. Not just yet. And again, the damage is dodged and Doran down.
No way Ace is holding his own in this fight. Come on, how is that happening? Octavian, another nade. Another one.
Go on. One more.
Another one.
Over the top.
There you go. Oh, it's light. Needed a little bit of help, but wait, he's so far away. It's still Dominus Generalis.
Goodness me.
Just help from a distance.
Southwest Shift and Regnum Kaya. I mean, can we go up to a top 4 yet? On your prediction?
Yes. Okay, I'm fairly confident now. This is looking like a top 4 for Regnum Kaya. They still have all of their players. They got 1 elimination, maybe 2 elimination chicken dinner. We'll see. As King going to be pulling the Ryzen, waiting in the bush for a team to get too close and maybe get the squad wipe. But this is a full squad of Regnum Kaya and of RTG and Nexus Gaming getting very close, so not sure if that play is going to work out.
You've seen it once, you've seen it 1,000 times. Jafar, split from the team of Gangsters, gets caught out, but this time by Gladiators, who are no stranger to that themselves. We'll hop back over to the Mad Bulls and Nexus. 4 players alive for Nexus, and that might change pretty soon because 4 players for Mad Bulls and Exo Machina down close by to the fight. Doran goes down next as Frozen crests the ridgeline. Octavian down. And it is excellent fight across this ridgeline for Mad Bulls.
Yeah, really strong execution. There's no one really north of their location that can shut them down when they peek over that ridge. So easy pickings for Mad Bulls. That's it for Nexus Gaming. Another unfortunate match here as they remain down in a low position on the rankings. And I'm wondering what the next move is going to be for Mad Bulls. Definitely want to peek, don't want to peek too much. RTG will punish you for that. But it seems like they're still trying to encroach on that position, playing those dip locations, trying to hide their location as much as possible, but they're very split, John!
Ooh.
And Frozen is the first to fall.
Reva finds that spray down, catches the rotation. Tulika, nade over the top, wants some retribution, looking to split the difference, but will not be able to find it. Rio, though, eats a lot of damage. Was that from a nade or from a shot from Zerich? Either way, looking for that angle. 4 players alive for RTG, but they go back across the La Bandita position.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think this fight makes a lot of sense for RTG. Just regroup and maybe push on to GK, because currently they're looking to engage onto Fireflux to get very, very close to their location. So if they can wait it out long enough, that could be the biggest opportunity ever for Road to Glory in this match to try and get eliminations and a decent foothold in this Phase 5, soon to be Phase 6 circle. As Mad Bull's up to now 4 elims, and we still need to see this big Mad Bull's resurgence. This could be the start of that match.
Okay, Max, I haven't said it until now, but Gladiators have 8 eliminations. They're playing on an edge position, and they've been playing together. Kitsune right now isn't demonstrating that point. He is playing very split. But for the majority of it, they have been playing together on this north side. They are now rotating down, and hopefully they can execute here. In the final game of today, now is the last opportunity they have to prove that they have anything left. If they go down now, at this point, I'm willing to write them off in terms of this tournament.
It's the Gladiators' recipe to success. Well, success at the end, mostly. Slow start and starting to get himself some good results at the end as they slowly but surely adapt to these type of tournaments, to these lobbies, every single event. And now they're pushing a little bit more together. Currently, it's a 3-1 split. Kitsune
Very far away.
Far north? I mean, he's still gathering info, I guess. I can't really explain what's happening with Kitsune up north next to Riyadh. They're just trying to get a nice angle onto GQ. And the moment that smoke dissipates, that is going to make it super easy to hit that nade right into the window and eliminate both Toffees and Corker in a single clean swoop. So that smoke is gone. I feel like we're going to see GQ live their final moments.
Time is ticking. Nobody really to push the Gladiators' position either. This La Bandita fight yet to conclude. We have 5 teams, in fact, still playing, and Puncher King's one of them right next to him Frozen as well. I think they previously spotted him here. I'm not entirely sure. We saw, you called it the rise and play. The player back on Bigatron back in the day, doing so much from a bush like this. And there's nade trades going on between RTG and Mad Bulls. Puncher King trying not to catch one of them in the thick of it, and Fleeker goes down to 1.
I think RTG actually might just go throw a nade to Mad Bulls and he just eliminates that final player here. So we'll see how it's going to really work out for Puncher King. Nice opening nade onto Fleeker, first to fall. And they send even more. Tulika might be the next one to take the nade and take some heavy damage. But Groza are trying to go for the off angle. If he can secure it, that is massive. Mad Bulls might be living their final moments if he can get it, but the car's about to explode. You need to get away, and he does not get knocked.
He's
still there.
Shots flying over his head. Calm as anything right now. Chilling in the bush. Playing super close. By the way, the nade from Gladiators did come through onto GK whilst we were talking about this. And he's still down there. There's no way that the Mad Bulls know about this. Otherwise, they would have taken him down already. These shots from Groza could land. Okay, hang on a minute. He's been caught.
Oh, the molly!
Molotov is there.
No. Oh, he got spotted. I thought he was going to get away with murder.
No way. That was so close. Either way, Falcons finally go down. 2 of the Mad Bulls are out of it in the meantime, and RTG have got the better end of this fight. Fleeke gets flushed. Syph up the top goes down for vision and eliminates them from the game. So far, Mad Bulls trying to regroup Zerich on over.
Are we going to see Fireflux third party this fight? I mean, clearly this is an opportunity. Can make it to the ridge behind of RTG and pick up the remnants of this position, and you're the only team southeast after that. Could be a huge opportunity for Fireflux. Frozen a little bit too far, and the off angle of Rio pays dividends as he gets that knock.
Really,
3 players still up on their end.
Really confident hold there from Rio to keep that angle under control. Now just Tulika remains. The next challenge, the hurdle, once crossed, will turn their attention over to Fireflux, but Tulika's one hell of a hurdle. Can't just give him up like that. Another nade from Caliga, trying to put the hurt down, the Molotov over the top, and you've got to imagine this ordnance is enough. Will finally fall. Now RTG look for the res and to continue. I just want to turn our attention back to the Gladiators. They are super keen today on guarding out clumps of players. We saw it in Rozhok. We're seeing it again now on the north.
Yeah, 10 eliminations. I mean, a lot of them secured, of course, in that fight north versus Brute Force and the side of Demuerte, so they were able to get a lot of eliminations early on. That means also loot up all of the resources of those 2 teams, and if they have a lot of utility nades in particular, that breach versus Regnum Cario could be massive. Smokes also would be of very large importance. For RTG, understanding they don't want to breach Fireflux's compound. Send it in the middle, but there's so many teams that have an angle. There's no way you can survive it. A breach would have been the play, but unfortunately sending it center is not going to work out as RTG get eliminated with 6 elims.
It was looking so good, and then they go and do that. Can't be having that.
I don't get it. Fireflux push would have been so good, but fortunately, they just don't quite make it and do end their life relatively early. Though Fireflux now, because of this next circle shift, it's on Regnum Cario, and I'm going to call it podium finish.
Okay, top 3.
Maybe a win.
Oh.
Again.
Could it be 4 chicken dinners on a day?
No, Fireflux actually 5 eliminations for Lutz. Been a player that I've been wanting to see more presence from. We saw a lot of plays from Solis, from Ketch in PMRC. Lutz has been one that has been slowly rising up to the occasion in PMRC. And they got cars that they were able to protect in these buildings. These cars are so important to cross these barren lands in the finishing moments. So if they can actually make it to Regnum Kara, that'd be huge, because we saw it from RTG. You can't play the open spaces. You will get eliminated pretty much instantly unless you have a lot of utility and smokes. You can try and survive, but I wonder where Fireflux are going to go.
Zone starting to close, and Gladiators still just guarding out on the edge. We saw that overview, very much open ground, steps and ladders towards that edge, and Yekta trapped now with the back up on the metal wall. Excuse me, playing as 4, probably the best chance of leaving, but Beck picks up Yekta, leaving Nextria out of this one. A regroup to the south for Gladiators, necessary now, and you can see they are going to make that happen.
6 eliminations for Matic. I just realized he got 6 elims. He's on an absolute tear this match. Fireflux actually sent it in the exact same position RTG died. They do have utility, as I mentioned, that's going to allow them to survive a little bit longer. Though Koops is... Okay, that tree is not large enough. It's not going to save you, Koops, unfortunately, and he's going to be instantly flushed out. An extra limb. And now they're behind the dip that Fireflux can chuck those nades. Furia trying to third-party it.
Okay, rolls straight on in. The nade finds Ralph, and the flush comes through from Furia. Does manage to pinch that point away, but Havlik is down and flushed as well now. Only one player alive for Enigma Galaxy. That's going to change now as they fall down in 5th. Guaranteed that start of the game prediction went good for you, Max. They are in that top 5, and in fact, up into that top 4. Fireflux still alive.
Boy, does Beck make it? Well, everyone's shooting at him. He does lose the wheel. He rolls over, but does make it right to that ridge side. Black-White normally could get rezzed also. They have a lot of utility. 3 nades in hand for Furia. The nade king, as we call him, back in Europe. And he hits it right on top of Lutz. They do have, I believe, 1 car behind they can maybe use, but he needs to get the res onto Black-White. You need as many players up and about to go for the breach and maybe secure a decent position and in this podium finish, because 4 teams are still alive, but Gladiators are surely encroaching over to the west.
I like the Gladiators' position here. I mean, likely that Regnum Kai are going to have to leave from their building, and Gladiators have got control of that run out.
Yeah.
Depending on if they can spot the vehicles that Regnum Kaya may have in there.
Just trying to dodge the fight with Regnum Kara as much as possible. Maybe waiting for Regnum Kara to leave this position, because with all these walls in this building in particular, it's so hard to nade. You can easily avoid the damage from those by hiding behind walls. Again, shot at right over that ridge.
Helmet taken off of Vezel as well, but unfortunately Meku is down in the back lines. Need to get that one back up as fast as you can. Black-White trying to keep everybody alive there. Beck down. Rez is coming through. The nades answering from Regnum Kaya.
Yeah, that's what you want to see. Nice. We've seen them regroup in this one building, just throwing all of their utility. They can get it onto Meku. Huge from Loxy.
Re-knock.
And how it's going to really work out is whichever team finishes their fight first is going to go into the circle, spread out, and try and secure multiple angles to secure that chicken dinner. If Regnum Kara can finish this fight very soon, they could take Gladiator's position, have 2 angles, and pretty much secure a chicken dinner in this final match of the day. It would be massive, but Matic sees Furia and takes him down. The flush is pretty much instantly stolen away by Loxy of Regnum Kara.
Wow, okay. They just want a couple more points on board. To be fair, 11 eliminations already for Gladiators. They have had their fair share and more. Matic finds that final point to bring them up to 12. 4 players alive for Regnum Kaya, but they do have to leave now. That ridgeline, I mean, I said I like their position. I feel like I've changed my mind a little bit on that with the nades that we saw coming through.
So you're seeing Fireflux, they want to try and get engaged on this fight to the west. They want to get as close as they possibly can, but with that open terrain, that open field, they can't do so just yet. So all they're going to do is try and hold... Actually, I'm surprised they're just clumped up the way they are. I'm surprised they're not just trying to hold on far east. I understand that Matic has taken heavy shots with that Mini 14, but you're getting a little bit too involved in this fight, I believe. But Ketch has got some significant damage. Regnum Kara are being pinched.
Huge push coming through from Fireflux. Ketch leads the charge, and Tixi finds Lutz as well. But that is the backline completely dismantled for Fireflux. Only the one player here playing close. Right up and around the right. Smoke needs to be careful. Ketch could be caught, but Tixi still going, and the Gladiators have rotated around. Ketch, he gets run down, and the Gladiators bring themselves into a 3v3, but the health bars are super low. Kitsune goes down, and Regnum Kaya want to put 4 on the board on the day at the PMRC. History is being made as Regnum Kaya have 1 more to handle, and they will be able to find it. The Turkish quad chicken dinner on the 3rd day. They have done it. Regnum Kaya, 4 chicken dinners, a massive game, control.